ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track. And ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. 3 couples, 4 vacations, a lot to unpack. Watch The 4 Seasons, a new series starring comedy favorites Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, and more in a hilarious and heartfelt love letter to long-term relationships. Based on the original Alan Alda film. Watch The 4 Seasons, May 1st, only on Netflix.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes, facts, boots, and other stuff.
in this week's issue, World's Finest Wednesday.
Welcome into another World's Finest Wednesday edition of Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mike.
Hello. And
Okay.
welcome to the Macy Day Parade.
That's a World's Finest Wednesday, a quick World's Finest Wednesday, as I'm trying to do my best to keep Mike on.
I'm going to do it. You have a time crunch. Let's go.
I do have a time crunch. So one thing I want to say real quick is that I want to say thank you to Keith, who emailed us earlier this week. I told you on Monday that we got a request, and he went ahead and put in a request, and I'm going to do it next week. I'm not going to tell everybody else. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to save it for Mike too, because Mike likes surprises. But he did give me a story, and he told me where I could find it and the issues to find, and he was like, this is the origin. This is the one the first time it does this, so I appreciate it very much. So thank you so
Keith,
much.
Thank you very much, man.
And we will have a special World's Finest Wednesday next week covering this then.
That's excellent.
So there
I love
you
it. That's great.
So this week's though,
love those surprises.
yeah, well, you do. You really do like.
I know.
The
I walked in on a
surprises.
dead body one time, and I can't stop talking about it.
Not that one. You poked it with a stick too. So we're finishing. There's still more, but we are continuing covering our Bat Manual from 1961. The number 2. We've covered Indian Chief Batman, Jungle Batman, the Lord of Batmanor. We've also looked at the time he was underseas Batman. But today, Mike, we are focusing on Batman, Magician.
I watched a short last night of ours, and it's just Robin going like that. That's the whole thing.
That's your favorite. I know that you love.
Look at this dork. Look at him on the cover here.
Oh man,
He's floating.
I know that you love.
Oh, it's Bat Swami.
Batman the Magician, and I know how much that you love Dumb Robin. So here we go. Let's get into our story from Detective Comics number 207 from May. I did bad here. Detective Comics 207 from May of some point in time. I think it's from the 50s.
Yeah, it's got to be. Just looking at the art and the coloring, it's got to be.
But here we go. Oh, my goodness. I am terrible at this, Mike. Of course, the time crunch is the one when I would want to try to look things up. Here we go. So Detective Comics from 207, May of 1954. Our story, Batman the Magician, written by one of the guys that we do absolutely love, Bill Finger, the original creator, or 90% of creation of Batman. Bill Finger, not Bob
Finger
Kingston.
Spring.
Shelley Maldoff, or
Isn't
Sheldon
that it?
Maldoff is the penciler. No, usually it's Dick Spring. Dick Spring did not do art
Dick Spring and Wally Finger.
Wally West.
Wally Finger.
Or Wally
Dick
Wood
Spring.
is the artist. Charles Paris, the inker. Jack Schiff was the editor. But again, Batman, Magician. Let's dive into it. What we have here in this story, Mike, is another great splash page here. But
That never happens, does it?
no.
Does he ever pull an elephant out of his hat?
Not out of his
Yeah, I
hat, but
didn't
he
think
does.
so. Okay.
No, if you wanted a comic where Batman's a magician, Well, this is kind of it, but what it is more than anything is Batman explains magic tricks to kids.
Oh, nice. He spoils magic tricks.
He does.
Right.
So
that's great.
It's essentially, I feel like I mean, I know Bill Finger did this, but I wonder if he was like, because he told the story of like the Joker, they got the idea from like a ride out at Coney Island of like a clown that was there, and he'd be like, oh, that would make for a good look for, I wonder if at some point in time, like he went to a magic show and he was like, I figured that out. Yeah. All right, Batman's going to be a magician this week.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Love how Bob Kane's name's down there at the bottom.
It
too.
always is down there.
Yeah. He didn't even know this got produced.
He never read it. I can promise you that probably. So we're introduced to our
he used
story
to hang out in those opium dens, right?
I don't know
Bob
about
Kane?
that. I'm not throwing that out
Wasn't he
there.
a big opium den guy?
I'm not. No, I don't know that at all.
Okay,
Probably
sorry.
not.
Go for it.
But the boss, I can't find the boss's name. It's this mob boss here.
It's Mirko.
And Mirko's the magician.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
his gang shows up to see him, and they're like, "Oh, the boss told me to be here." He said, "We just heard that the Moriarty gang was here. Are you okay, boss?" And he's like, "No, I'm not. They locked me up." And like, "Oh, we'll get some bolt cutters to cut you free from this." And he's like, "No, you guys don't understand. These aren't regular chains, you idiots. They told me that this chemist, he came up with them, and the chain links, they're hollow and they're filled with a high explosive."
I'm sorry, who came up with them?
A chemist.
A chemist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that they're filled with a high explosive. And if the chains... If the chain is even moved too much, it'll blow me sky high. You guys got to stay back.
That seems perfect. That's what you want to put on a prisoner.
And about that time, that's when he realizes the billboard for Mirko the Great, the magician, and he tells them, "You guys go steal Mirko, and he's going to help get me out of these chains."
Mirko the magician, you know what he does? He puts asses in seats. Look at that place. That place is full.
It is packed. And Bruce Wayne, who probably has to be the richest man in Gotham,
sits in the back.
Can't even get a front row seat to Mirko.
Yeah, that's a hot show right there.
That's a hot show there. But
Robin doesn't know where he's at.
He's
but
like, "What
Bruce
are we
Wayne,
seeing?"
Yeah.
Golly.
He got dark, Batman.
Golly,
you can't call
Bruce.
me Batman when I don't have my costume on. Oh, sorry, Batman. Shut up,
I hate
Robin.
Robin so much. And I love it. And he's like, "Golly, Bruce, this should be some evening."
He says golly.
There'll be
Come on.
10 acts.
Oh.
10. Oh, man.
I can use all of my fingers.
1, 4. No, let's start over again, Robin.
Oh, I'm sorry, Batman. I told you, shut up. Stop calling me that. This is an entirely different episode. This is a whole different issue. And they even...
It's so nice that Bruce takes out some of these kids out to see shows. He even calls him Batman.
Yeah.
So that's the thing so during the Great Mirko show, they use the trap door. The boss's henchmen use the trap door to kidnap him.
Yeah.
And after a while, like there's a bunch of clapping, and Mirko never comes back out to stage. And Batman realizes, he goes, "Mirko's a veteran of 20 years on the stage, and he's a great trooper. When a man like him doesn't come out for bows, there's something wrong. Come on, Dick. Batman and Robin will look into this." So they go to the back, and they realize that he's gone.
Again,
nobody can find the Great Mirko.
Bottom left panel. It looks like Batman has taken off his entire suit. He looks naked, with the exception of the blue stuff, doesn't he?
A little bit.
He looks naked.
It's great. It's just a faded.
It's like he's in the jungle again.
But they realize nobody can find him back there. They don't know where he at, that he must have disappeared. And they're like, "Well, what are we going to do?"
He is a magician.
And they go, "Oh, somebody must use the trap door." So they go
No shit.
and they hunt down, they drop down the trap door. It's a shadowy maze of corridors below Gotham Theater that the two drop down into. And as they go and they look, and they realize, like, whoever got Mirko, they had to come through here. And they look through the open door, and it just comes out into an empty alleyway. And like, well, we're too late. Mirko's been taken. And Batman goes, "You're right. And unless the show goes on," this was an event. I'm sorry, I should have added. This was an event for charity that the Great Mirko was putting on.
Yeah, it always is.
Because unless the show goes on, the charity money will have to be turned back.
That's how that works?
That's how it works. You know, if we can't finish the show,
I'm so sorry.
all the money
we didn't get a complete show. We're not going to be able to give money to those cancerous children.
It's like, the human globetrotter, the
Globetrotter,
the Harlem Globetrotters. We're playing a basketball game for charity. There was 30 seconds still on the clock when that dude broke his leg and couldn't play anymore.
Sorry.
All the money y'all earn goes back. It doesn't go to charity.
I don't know, guys. Maybe plan better next time.
Yeah, don't get hurt. So
All the money has to be turned
So
back
Batman realizes
What the
that
fuck
presents
ever,
a problem, while the gang tells Mirko, so they've moved the boss to like a rubber padded room, and they've made Mirko change shoes. Like no vibrations around him whatsoever.
And they all stand around
and they all just stand
to
around
him.
talking.
Yeah.
And
Well, he
Mirko-
holds them up at him going, hey, look, guys.
He's like, you got to get me out of this. You got to get me out of this. And Mirko realizes that the best he can do is he's got to stall, right?
Okay.
Because he goes, I can't set this gangster free to terrorize society. Yet
Good on Mirko.
I can stall. He's like, all right, these locks appear tough. Like, yeah, I might be able to do it, but it's going to take me a while, and we got to be very careful.
Sure.
So Mirko's trying to stall here. He's like, intricate locks, the tumblers, like we can't have anything. And we get a cut back to Gotham Theater where Bruce, is he dressed as Batman to go save Mirko? No. Bruce instead is putting on a fake mustache because he's going to pretend to be Mirko.
Oh, my God.
So Mirko and
Mirko.
Robin are going to perform all these tricks, but they need help. And Dick goes, I'll just pretend to be out in the crowd still, and you can call me up here so I won't know, and we'll do all the tricks together. Yeah, they're going to Carol Burnett this.
Nice job.
We get to see first that the great Mirko pulls rabbits out of his hat.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, he doesn't do that. Really, there's rabbits stuffed inside of a hollow table.
Sure.
And he moves the hat over the hole.
Yeah.
And he pulls the rabbits through the table out of the hat. It tells us that. Then we get to see...
Which Robin goes on the stage and explains as he does it.
And Batman's like, kid, quit it. I'm sorry, Batman. No, I'm Mirko. Stop it.
Mirko, no, you're Bruce.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Damn
guys.
this kid.
So we get to see the rope trick where it kind of uncoils and
Yeah.
like floats towards the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Never
and-
liked that trick.
And we come to find out that actually the rope didn't stand up as it uncoiled. It dropped down through a hole in the stage, while through another hole rose an iron pole that resembled a rope. It gave the illusion that the rope stood up.
What?
That's the explanation we get. I'm just explaining to you verbatim
Okay.
what we're getting here.
All right.
I'm telling you, Batman just wanted to spoil magic for kids in this episode.
So rope comes down as pole comes up, and that's supposed to make you think the rope is going up. And
I guess, like it's just, and then Robin climbed it, or his assistant climbed
Robin
it.
will climb anything. So
Meanwhile, at gang headquarters, an urgent call comes in over the phone. And so the phone rings, and like
weird
the
if it
boss,
wasn't over the phone.
the boss picks it up. He's like, "That you, Pete? Okay, you got the boys stationed where they're tearing down the old, tenement? Yeah." And he's like, just talking through crime still while he's waiting for Mirko
Sure.
to,
Yeah.
get him out of these cuffs.
Just steal that old lady's checks.
And at the same time, Batman and Robin have bowed from the stage, and they're now leaving the theater to go finally save Mirko.
Yeah.
Well, they go and they stop the
That was
men.
a close one with all the money.
While on the street, a nearby armored car, they notice that that Mirko's men are trying to. They use a crane from a construction site to knock over an armored car.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin show up and stop them in typical Batman and Robin fashion. And as they leave, our Batman checks on the people in the car. They're unconscious but alive, and the money is safe in that fireproof strongbox. So I'll go get an ambulance, and they leave the scene, but they have stopped the gangster from, I guess, pulling out his plan. Presently is approaching sirens ahead, so they hear the ambulance coming. They say, all right, we'll get set for tomorrow night's magic show now. They're still not going to go and find Mirko. No.
They're going to prepare to perform tomorrow night.
They're like,
By the way, top
figure out Mirko.
right-hand panel, it looks like Robin has the mumps.
And the driver and the guards are still in there. He does look like he has the mumps.
Maybe his cheeks are full of nuts. Maybe that's it.
Does. On the following night at the theater, the disguised Batman.
This is the stupidest thing. Like, they just go, shit, now we've got another show.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it again.
Should we go save Mirko? No, dude, we got to practice our tricks.
Man, we will never be
He's
good
a
on stage.
magician.
We're gonna
He'll
practice.
figure it out on his own. Now, let's go ruin tricks for these
I tell
kids.
you where they didn't look is the aquarium.
They did.
Hadn't looked there yet.
Well, because he had the octopus with ink, and they hid the ink.
Hey,
remember?
Batman, fish.
Fish. So they do the trick of where like the kid they have Robin levitate on a table, and he passes like a gold ring over him. Yeah. Well, they tell you Dick actually was suspended by fine steel wires invisible to the audience as the hoop that passed unmolested over him. Weird use of the words, but
Sure.
and it had a lever on the hoop that he could push that had like it was a small lever which when pressed made
Open
a
up
tiny
just a tiny
opening
bit.
on the
Yeah.
hoop that could pass freely through it. Oh, and then now, should we go save Mirko the magician? No. Now, Batman should pretend to be Mirko and hang submerged in a tank upside down with his feet hanging out, locked in there.
Like a Houdini.
Yeah. Oh, no. It says, and a lid placed over the tank, only Batman's feet remain out of water. That's real water, too. I saw some of it splash out.
That's real water.
But he can't really stay submerged for half an hour, can he? Minutes tick by. 10, 15, 20. Is Batman still alive?
Nope.
Can any human submerge for such a long time? But wait, that half an hour is up now. And before Batman is pulled out, let's get a close look at how he performed the impossible. And it tells you.
God, this is ridiculous.
A prepared glass tube, invisible to the audience, ran the length of Batman's body from his ankle to his mouth. Batman stayed submerged, yes, but then breathed through the tube. So there was a glass tube that went out the whole time that he breathed through.
He had to learn to breathe through his anus.
It ends with the final trick here, because they realize...
I hate the fact that they're telling all these children that are reading this exactly how these tricks are done.
They're giving all the tricks. Well, they still haven't gotten him out of the cuffs, but the mob boss gets the paper and it goes, but it says, Mirko baffles audiences with amazing illusions. He's like, but what? This can't be Mirko. Mirko's right here with us. What kind of gag is this? He's been here for 3 days. Like, how's he doing shows?
This is a day later, and they still have the cuffs on him.
Yes.
Okay.
And so they're like, wait, that must be Batman and Robin. They're the only two who would have seen us capture Mirko and could pull off his magic tricks.
Make that mental leap.
So they decide they're going to go stop Batman and Robin. And unaware of the new twist of fate, they keep going on with their act. They're going to prepare a vanishing act and make Robin and this elephant disappear.
I would be okay with just Robin.
So what happens is Batman throws down a smoke pellet, and when the smoke pellet goes off, they drop down a cloth that's identical to the cloth that was behind Robin and the elephant before. So it looks like he's disappeared. Do you see the split there?
What they didn't tell you is the charity that this is for is children with no depth perception. So they were able to pull this off pretty easily.
That's our T-shirt. That's our T-shirt this week. It's like a very formal children with no depth perception.
Yeah, low depth perception.
Oh,
good,
man. Well,
please give.
Here's the end of our story.
Put it in their hand, because otherwise they'll just miss it.
All at once, the other guys, they start shooting their guns off at Batman pretending to be Mirko. And he's like, oh, what's going on? And that angered the elephant. And the elephant kind of breaks down through the screen that they have up.
Man.
No.
You don't F with
elephants.
elephants.
Oh, run for your life. And Batman and Robin chase the guys down, and they beat them up, and they go essentially have them taken back to the hideout where the boss and Mirko are being kept. Right? And so and once they're inside, another move, Batman, and I'll blow up. The boss, he's still there in the cuffs, and he tells him, another move and I'll blow up. I'll blow us all to bits. Stay back, stay back. The slightest vibrations will set off high explosive in the chain's hollow links. And
so
Batman
please
tells
scream
him,
some more.
Batman tells him, don't make me laugh. The chains are harmless. See? And he goes over and like sits there and he like just has him bash against the
guy's hands blow off.
Table. Yeah. He's like, ah! And he just bleeds out.
I guess I was wrong.
And Batman goes, at least we don't have to worry about him now. And then just keeps going to get Mirko. No. And he goes, it didn't explode, but it was a trick all this time.
No shit, idiot.
And he goes, but how did you know, Batman? And he goes, a ringing telephone causes vibrations too. Obviously, you and your gang kept in contact by phone, which would have detonated the explosive by now, had they really been any, actual danger.
That is such a leap of faith on Batman's part.
And Mirko goes, even Houdini would have been proud of you, Batman. May I present you with an honorary membership to the Magician Society? The end.
No, I don't want it. Thanks.
The end.
Wow.
That's it. It was a very short
World's
Finest Wednesday today.
Good job, Mirko.
Mirko the Great.
Hey, you know what? He is kind of the hero of the story, though, because he just bought time.
He did buy time until Batman got to... Here's the thing, though. How much time was he going to have to buy before Batman finally showed up?
Probably just a couple of hours. But then Batman's like, well, fuck it. We can't do it tonight. We got a show.
Show tomorrow. He could have, that's the thing, is after day 4, I think you're like, okay, somebody should have been here by now.
Yeah.
It took them seeing that Mirko was still performing in the papers for them to realize, okay, well, the Batman and Robin must be doing that. They could not give two shits about the missing magician.
Yeah. I feel bad for the mob boss also. Like, he couldn't go pee.
No. Well,
He
somebody else had to hold it.
Somebody had to hold
was
it.
Mirko doing that?
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Mirko.
maybe it was one of those. It's like when you pull out the handkerchiefs. You know, it just keeps coming. He's like, oh, I can get used to this.
That's good. That's good. All right. That was a quicker World's Finest Wednesday. Next week, I can tell you, you can dial up who we will talk about. Mike's not going to get that, but that is who we can look forward to.
Dial in for murder? Is that what we're covering?
No.
Next week?
No, but it's close.
Okay.
You'll see. You'll just have to see on World's Finest. On Monday.
Dial V for Vendetta?
On Monday, it could be a couple of different things. It might be Silver Surfer Parable. Maybe. We'll see. That's what we're getting to. But that's been our World's Finest Wednesday. Thank you guys, as always, for taking the time out to watch and to listen. Make sure to check out Rogue Media Network and all the great podcasts on the Rogue Media Network family of stations.
90% of them.
Most of them.
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
Mike has another one about King of the Hill that's called Blah.
I do. And can I say one thing, though?
Go ahead.
I'm super excited about what I get to go do.
You do, yeah.
I'm going to go cover the ATX TV Festival and be able to cover the live King of the Hill cast and crew. And also, John Hamm's going to be there.
See? John Hamm's John Hamm. There you go. Do you think John Hamm likes our show?
I think John Hamm, if I have the chance, John Hamm will like our show.
That's what I hear siren out there.
Batman screwed up another one.
That's John Hamm coming to tell us how much he loves the show. Could you imagine? I just want John Hamm being like, yeah, Bros, Foes, and Heroes is okay. Like that's what I think I want from us in the future is if we ever get celebrities be like, yeah, no, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Or it's just like,
all right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Mike's good.
I'll take.
Zach.
No. I would absolutely take yeah, I've heard of them. That's all I need. That's all I need. That's it. Yeah.
It's good comic stuff.
Yeah.
Just matter of factly. Yeah.
It'd be great.
Well,
yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys as always.
Coming for you, John Hamm.
Oh, coming for you, John Hamm. That's a song I just made up. But until next time.
All I ever think of, though, is the Michael Bublé thing where he's scared for his life because John Hamm's keeping him captured. I met him at a party. He was very drunk.
A bubble and ham?
Yeah, bubble and ham.
I love that. You should go watch that. Go watch that bit from SNL.
It's very good.
Until next time, stay safe, everybody.
And in the words of John Hamm, golly con.
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production. They put up new.
That's the Denny's that I said fuck ham in.
Oh.
That I yelled on my 21st birthday.
You yelled fuck ham?
Yeah. In the middle of it, I think I scared my waitress. I didn't mean to. It was just like, so my buddy.
Record this.
It is already.
Oh, okay. So, hi, everybody.
so my buddy, who's with me, my brother was my DD, but my buddy was with me. After drinking, we went to Denny's for some reason. That sounded good. It was 21st birthday. And so I usually was more of an IHOP guy, I guess Breckman was, but he's reading over me things on the menu. And like, I know, like I can figure it out. I'm not that drunk. Well, at least that's what I think.
I'm a Walgreens guy all day.
Yeah.
Not CVS.
And so I'm like, what do I want? And he's like, oh, you could get this. You could get this. And one of the things I remember, he's like, you could get moons over my hammy. And I was like, what? And he's like, it's like he's explaining it to me. He's like, got eggs, it's like that. And it's just like, and I go, no, I don't want ham. And he's like, no, it's really good. He's like, you can get it. It's like, it's really good. And I go, ham. No, fuck ham. And so the waitress just looks at me and she just kind of backs up and I go, I'm sorry. And then I remember like turning just like continuing.
You should never apologize for your hatred of ham.
Yeah. I didn't like it. So that's the story behind ham. Yeah. I also hit myself in the face with a ketchup bottle. It was an eventful night. Here's the best part of it. I Did It by Dave Matthews Band came on the song.
Yeah.
And I made my brother download it and listen to it.
How does that song go?
I did it is in the is in the song. But it's like, I did it. I told you I did that. Yeah.
I told you.
You should go listen to it. Anyway, I made my brother listen to it on repeat our whole drive home. So like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right. That's a story there. That was Zach's 21st birthday. You're welcome if you stay tuned for that one. All right, here we go.
Those go at the end, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Especially since you said fuck ham.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.